What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I figured I'd give you another update for the week, even though it's not the end of the week. It's literally Monday. It's June 2nd today. And I wanted to talk about my experience today at work. So, overall, I shouldn't even say overall. In general, things are going really well. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm getting deja vu of like how things used to be when I first started at my very first company professionally as an engineer. It's like the same kind of vibe in the sense that I've said this before in my other recent videos. At least when I say recent, I say that in the context of the videos that I recorded like last week and the week before. Anyway, in the sense that I am the only software guy in my immediate team, and I'm designing like automation for them from scratch. So maybe you guys can relate to my experience here, but so I have several years experience working in Python. It is my strongest programming language, although I'm open to branching out at some point, specifically into C++ and C. I've worked in C extensively, C++ not so much. But in any case, I know Python pretty well, but I've never done web applications or web frameworks or anything like that. And that goes generally, right? Like you have the whole like HTML, CSS type stuff that I've just never done front end stuff before. And it came to my attention today that our team could use a makeshift application to simply just toggle our test equipment, right? Like set the power level, recall a certain like state that the a signal generator is configured as. You can configure it a certain way, save it to a file, and then recall that file at any time. So just a way to automatically do that, a way to set like RF output power, and a way to set like the output power level, toggle the RF power in general, turn it on and off. Just do that like all automated. The primary task that I've been working on, I've already automated all those things. Like I've written code to just do that as needed in a test, but I haven't made it like fancy into a UI or anything. So today I actually had the opportunity for the first time to work with Django, and I'll be the first to admit that it is overkill for what I need. I probably could have used PyQt instead and save myself a lot of time, but I took today to just dive into the framework and kind of see how it worked and Gemini my way into my first project. Just kind of like, obviously I'm not going to front. I'm going to be real with you guys. We have AI tools, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to understand everything before I implement. I'd rather implement and then go back and just kind of see how everything works and then start to tweak certain things here and there, see what might break. And that's how I get a feel for how the app is supposed to run. So within a day, I got my first makeshift Django application straight out the gate. And I'm pretty proud of myself. And I think it's great because I kind of fumbled my way into this position. And I mean that in the sense that I wasn't looking for this. It found me, and I'm getting the chance to experiment with a new technology at work without doing it in some BS project after work. The opportunity presented itself now, and Django is an in-demand skill, especially for like remote Python developer jobs I've seen in passing. Django or Flask, but mainly Django is the main framework that is like desired, and those concepts will carry over to Flask. I know Flask is like less complicated, if anything, but both aren't that complicated. It's pretty straightforward once you dive into it. So it's cool because I've been in a position like this in years. Like literally the last time I was in this position, I like learned Python from scratch on the job. I learned Linux from scratch on the job. And I learned how to design automation software so that like it's manufacturing friendly. A technician or a tester can like run the application as hands off as possible. And yeah, just like how to design shit like that and design automation in general. And I'm pretty proud of myself that I managed to get here again. I think it's funny because I wanted this exact setup with embedded systems, right? I wanted to like use my test engineering background to get into an embedded software engineering position and just kind of like learn as I go on the job. I know that, I should probably work on some project outside of work if I really want to do that, but it's not mandatory for me because it's not like my number one goal right now. I'm just kind of coasting on the background that I have in the job market. And I'm not even looking for jobs anymore. I have a pretty solid position right now for at least 6 months, and I'm very happy with it. So I'm not going to be like looking for a new job anytime soon. But I wanted to document my experience in a way, basically because the advice that a lot of people working in tech will tell you is like, oh, if you want to get a specific type of job, you got to work on a project outside of work. And I'm not saying I disagree with that. It's true. But if you're someone like myself and you already have a solid background in general, you can still find a way to work on new technologies, right? Like literally the application that I made today, it took me like a day thanks to AI. And like, I don't want to lie about that. I don't think that I should feel ashamed for using AI, but at the same time, if I did it all from scratch, it would have taken me a week to actually thoroughly retain everything that I'm doing. But thanks to AI, I was able to just pound it out in a freaking day. So, all that to say, the main takeaway from this video is that when the opportunity presents itself on the job working as an engineer, you should take the initiative to solve the problem you're trying to solve with a new technology that you don't already know how to do or use. And that's exactly what I did today with Django. And like I said, like, could I have used some simpler, not web app based GUI to do what I need to do? Yeah, for sure. But I think it was a lot harder initially to kind of like piece together Django. I shouldn't say like a lot harder, but it was a little bit more challenging for me just because I'm not a front end guy, but like I said, like all this stuff can be learned on the job. So yeah, I just wanted to just share this with you guys. And all that to say, I'm not even like I don't like, despite the way that I'm like talking here right now, I don't look at myself as an overly technical guy. If anything, I have a lot of surface level knowledge across a fair amount of different domains now in the technical space. So, but it's all under like test engineering. But even then, like, I shouldn't say that to like downplay my experience because like I've been doing software development. It's just not a fancy title. Now I'm under a fancy company that's well known, but I don't have like I've never had a fancy title, but I'm still learning software development. I still feel that in terms of the job market, they're not willing to let people branch outside their expertise, even though software engineering, at the end of the day, it's all transferable skills. And if you can come up to speed with one programming language, you should be able to come up to speed in another one and like know how to root cause a given like failure and troubleshoot your way into making something work. I think those are valuable skills to have, and I have those skills, but I would have a very hard time, or I shouldn't say I would, I have had a very hard time getting a job with C++ because, and I know the solution to the problem is to work on something outside of work, but like it's not my main goal right now, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, point is, the fact that I've been a software engineer, not by title, but by job function, essentially for coming up on 7 years, just because I don't have specific experience with C++, I should be able to get an entry-level job in C++, no problem. Like if the job is like C++ developer, I should be able to get that job, no problem. But yeah, guys, today was like a full circle moment for me because I've seen, like, I've had several moments over the last couple of years where I've been like looking for jobs And if it's something related to Python, like the job title could be something along the lines of Python engineer, Python development engineer, blah 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 blah, and it always ends up being some like web related thing, like which is why I was talking about like Django or Flask, because and I'm like, oh, I don't have those skills. I know that I've been working in Python, but no company's gonna hire me without that experience on paper. And I completely fumbled my way into this today, but I'm here doing it today. And it's so cool that I'm doing this without working on something outside of work. I'm getting paid to learn a skill that I wasn't like directly shooting for. Like I've talked before on this channel how as long as I'm an engineer, I was hoping to get into embedded software engineering, but that hasn't really worked out, and it's my own fault for not prioritizing it. But I'll take what I can get, you know. The fact that as of today, I'm working on a web framework in Python means that I'm one step closer to getting a remote software engineering gig in the future, especially because now working at the company I'm working at, it is a contract. It means that it can go either way in 6 months. I am hoping to at least have the option to extend it from now, assuming that I do a good job. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I'm like 90% of the way done my first project after 2 weeks, which I wasn't given any like strict deadlines on. It's just, I was just kind of given the high level, high overview. What do we need done within 6 months? And that's basically it. And it's just, you know, whatever happens, happens, which is a good position to be in because I feel like I'm set up to succeed. This company hired me knowing that I only have a year of an RF background, and it was very minimum in terms of like the concepts and just like knowing what to look for, how to troubleshoot RF failures specifically. Like those are things that I literally never had interest in, despite having the background for it. Like I didn't have interest in this shit at all. But now it's suddenly cool working for this company. I'm like actually super interested in everything, to the point where I was looking into the concepts a little bit over the weekend. So it's been really cool, and I feel super motivated and driven to do well. And yeah, I just want to document this and show you what's possible by like, I don't know, just by chance. Because like, I don't know, I just never thought I'd be here. And like life recently has been really good to me, and I'm just really grateful. And I feel like, you know, when you're working towards any kind of big goal, usually it's kind of like tough. And I mean, it kind of is. Like what I'm working on outside of work is challenging, but like it's fun. So I don't want to go into that, which is, you know, essentially pivoting my career into something new, fun and fresh. So with that, I think I'll end it here. Like I said, just a real cool full circle moment for me. So if you got something out of this, if you could relate to like my experience of, you know, learning a new skill on the job and getting paid for it in tech, give the video a thumbs up or comment, whatever. And feel free to subscribe. I'll be posting videos more frequently now as I kind of document my journey here, and I'll catch you in the next one.